most of you guys are struggling with finding winning products or successful products, you name it. This is actually have been maybe the most crucial issue for the last 3 years since the huge influx of Chinese coming into the market, I think, and the ocean is not blue anymore. I think so. So I have here maybe one of the best experts on this topic in the world, and really appreciate your time, team. And I will give you a few sentences to introduce yourself, and then we will just dive into your presentation. And of course, I will give you the co-host so you can share your screen. Yes, because we are going to do it practical, right?
Sure.
Great. So thank you for being here. Let us know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. I never thought that I would be doing these types of trainings and conferences and the things that I do just 6 years ago. That's when I first started e-commerce, and I found Amazon by accident, and I've done pretty well on it since then. But going back to the point of product research being difficult, that has become my specialty. And it's because I think a little bit differently than a lot of people. I think outside of the box. I'm very creative in trying to find new product ideas. So that has been one of the core of my content and my expertise for a number of years now. I run a private label group called Private Label Legion. It's a free Facebook group, and we have a paid mastermind called Centurion League, where I'm partnered with Norm Farrar. I suspect many of you know Norm with the big beard, so he and I are partners in the content. Yep. And then I've done things like the Project X case study, which was a collaboration with Helium 10. I would advise all of you to go check that out. It's free on YouTube. Just type Helium 10 Project X. I'm the host of the AM/PM podcast, which was originally hosted by Manny Coates, and then he handed it off to me. And I'm constantly trying to find new ways to find products, launch products, and also get off of Amazon. I love Amazon, but I want to make sure that there's a larger base than just one platform.
Mm-hmm. Now I understand the hat you have behind you with the Legion and everything.
My Legion helmet, yep. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I think searching for new products, it's kind of a war, right? So comes from there?
Yeah. It's a battle that we're all fighting, but if we fight together, we can win it, right?
Yeah. Okay, great, nice. Let me just ask you one question before to start everything up. Usually all the people, and you mentioned Helium 10, and there is 2-3 very very large softwares that everybody is using. So there always this question that all the sellers are looking on the same data, and everybody sees the same opportunities. And is it like going fishing and the first one to fish the biggest fish, or is there something that more tactics that you need to add to this data driven diving? And then I guess this is what you are going to talk about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. And it's the concept of not using the tools. Now, I use the tools for validation and for verification and for data. I do not use the tools to find my new product. And I'll explain why. It's because the tools are looking at the same information that is sometimes old or it's slow, and everybody else is looking at it. So I'll get more into that later. But I love Helium 10. It's the one tool that I do use. But I even tell Bradley all the time, I don't find my products on Helium 10. I find them off of Helium 10, off of Amazon, and then validate them with Helium 10. So I think that people have been very discouraged. I think that people get very upset that they can't seem to find these products. They can't seem to find anything. And what I would tell people is take some time, do things a little bit differently. And, you're not looking in the same box essentially that everybody else is. It starts to open up opportunities. So those are some of the things I'm going to share today.
Okay, great. So the stage is yours. Let's dive into your first.
Oh man!
for your first tips. Yeah.
All right. So I first want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's discouraged needs to not be, because a lot of people are selling online. or they're trying to sell online and things are going slowly. They can't find products. They're getting overrun with, black hat saturation. Oh, my coffee went down the wrong pipe a second ago. Sorry. But I'll say this as a word of encouragement. Right now, more people are using e-commerce than any time before. And I think that it's easy to assume that maybe this is just because of COVID and people are locked in their house. Mm-hmm. I believe that e-commerce is going to stay strong even after the pandemic is over, because people were forced to adopt e-commerce and now they love it. And if we look in the US, for example, some states are very locked down, like New York and California, and some aren't at all, like Texas and Florida. The states that are not locked down, e-commerce is still just as strong as the states that are locked down. Okay, so I think that the data shows us that this is not temporary, this is long-term. Also, so I do a lot of things in life. One of the things that I do is I'm a strategic advisor also for Sellers Funding, which is a financial platform for e-commerce sellers. And we have access to the data of about 16,000 Amazon sellers, the financial data, right through our APIs. And we see data that's on a huge scale. And the average Amazon seller in the past year has grown 80%. Okay. The average. So for all the people that declined, all the people that didn't grow, there's enough people that did grow substantially that the average over almost 16,000 sellers is 80%. So there are ways to grow. There are ways to move. There are more people selling on e-commerce. So if you've been discouraged about not finding the right product or even finding your first product, understand that there is hope, because more people are using e-commerce than ever before. And we also have new ways to find those products. So just a little word of encouragement. Now, one reason that people get discouraged, and interrupt me anytime you need to, if you need to, guy. But one reason people get discouraged is they're following the wrong methods of data research and product research. Okay. Now,
which are being taught in all those trainings and courses.
Yes. So what's interesting is the majority of the content that we have, the majority of the content that people are consuming for how to sell on Amazon are sold through marketing. They're either courses that they want you to buy, or it's people selling you, hey, come work with me, join my mastermind program. It's easy, it's easy, it's easy. So we have to convince people that it's easy. And people are not very creative. So we have to show them a 12-step process. Click this button, click this button, click this button, and here's your product that you're going to sell. All right. So I call this the Jungle Scout method. All right. I like Greg Mercer. I hate the content that they put out. What Jungle Scout does, and I used to use Jungle Scout when I first started, it basically looks at Amazon. So you go to an Amazon page, you run your Jungle Scout report, and it tells you what everybody else is doing well. Okay. All these people are making money on these products. You should too. And I hate that, because we're essentially looking at red ocean. We're looking at a pre-saturated niche. We're looking at what everybody else has been following. And then if we find the product and there's 7 people selling it well, groups like Jungle Scout try to convince us, well, if you just have better pictures, or if you have a little bit better listing or more aggressive PPC, you can sell more than them. It's just not true anymore. It doesn't work that way. And then when you've got all these tools looking at the same well-selling products or good-selling products, you've got a ton of other people that are jumping on that niche too. And it takes about 6 months to recognize it. So if I am looking at Jungle Scout and I find a product that 5 people are selling well, and right now I decide, hey, I might want to buy this. I start sourcing it. I start negotiating pricing. I do my prototypes, my samples. I create my packaging. I place the order. I ship the order. It lands at Amazon. 6 months for ocean shipping. 6 months. Well, in that 6 months, there's no telling how many other people will have popped onto that listing or onto that product or that niche, not that listing. So it's a problem. So we have to stop looking at Amazon. I tell people all the time that the majority of people's Amazon research is they go and they open up their computer, they sit down on their chair, and they go to Amazon.com. Stop doing that, because if you're looking on Amazon, you're only going to find products that are already selling well and will be first to the market. Okay. So the objective that we're trying to fulfill is find an opportunity where there is demand with low competition. Okay. Now let's talk about demand for a second. Amazon is an interesting space because it's limited, but it also has tons of traffic. So it's a high, what we call buyer intent marketplace. When people come to Amazon, they're usually not browsing. They're looking for something. I don't go to Amazon and just scroll through the catalog pages. I type something in the search bar. This is what I want, okay? And that is plugged into, of course, the A9 algorithm, which is one of the top 5 search engines in the English language. So the entire objective of the A9 algorithm is to input people's requests and sort them and process them and give them something that's relevant, okay? So if I type in Nike shoe, it should show me a Nike shoe. If I type in kitchen spatula, it should show me kitchen spatulas. Well, all of that data being input is very, very important, right? Because we can use that data to figure out what people are looking for. Now, what Amazon is not is somewhere to launch a product that people don't know exists. All right. I see people all the time that have a great invention, that have a great new idea, and they try to launch on Amazon. But if people aren't looking for that, it's extremely, extremely, extremely hard to launch that. Amazon's not the place for that. Okay.
You need to educate them. And sometimes this education process takes you a lot of time and money. And I'm speaking from experience, unfortunately.
I'll show you an example of that. It's a product a good friend of mine sells, and they're really struggling on Amazon. It's called Wet Sleeve. So check this thing out. It's patented. It's amazing. 4.3 stars out of 5. And so what it is,
drinking, you just fill it with water.
It's a water bottle.
Yeah. Nice.
So like instead of the camelbacks that go on your back, this goes in your arm. So if you're rock climbing, if you're on a stand-up paddleboard, if you're kayaking, right? It's great.
The idea is great. Yeah.
Great listing, but nobody is looking for Wet Sleeve. Right? So what we have to do is try to sell that as hands-free hydration, water bottle for running, right? Like running belt. That's why we put this in here, running belt, because people are looking for running belts. So my point is, even if you've got the best product in the world, if people aren't looking for it on Amazon, you're not going to sell it. So what we have to do is we have to find good products that people love, that they are searching for on Amazon, but nothing's being offered. Okay. That's what we have to do. That's the golden ticket, is finding products that are not being offered on Amazon yet, but are in demand. So what's that mean? If we go to Amazon looking for those products, we're not going to get those product ideas, because I just said we have to find something that's not on Amazon or it's underserved on Amazon, right? We also know that Amazon is slow. Amazon is usually 18 months behind trends. If you look at the trends like the fidget spinners a few years ago, they were trending on other places, other social media, other marketplaces, other physical markets. I spent a lot of time in Yiwu, China. They were all over Yiwu 18 months before they actually became popular on Amazon, right? So this gives us a great opportunity, because if we can find the things that are trending before they hit Amazon, we're great. Or if we can find something that's been trending and just nobody's thought to put on Amazon, we can get there first, right?
It's like what happened with the COVID-19 products, right? All the untouchless, all the this ring keys, and buttons, and everything. But it's not exactly, because people already knew there's an epidemic and just then ran. But everybody just ran with these products into Amazon. Yep.
A good example is the foot puller. It's something that goes on the bottom of your door that you use your foot to open a public door. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Those have been around for 20 years. And well,
this became popular, yeah.
Yep. So another thing that I tell people is we have to stop looking for products to sell on Amazon and start looking for keywords to sell on Amazon. And this is one of the biggest things that changed my perspective and my success, was realizing that we don't sell products on Amazon, we sell keywords. All right. So
I always say the same. It's not a marketplace of products, it's a marketplace of keywords, and every keyword is a marketplace.
Yep. So this product, this is a duck made of concrete. If I were going to sell this on Amazon, I would not sell a concrete duck. But what would I describe this as? This is concrete home decor, duck decor, paperweight for desk, office decor, right? I can come up with 50 keywords that describe around that people are actually looking for, but nobody's actually going to Amazon typing concrete duck, right? So when I realized that keywords are what we sell and not products, I realized, one, we can find these keywords, because remember I said Amazon's a giant search engine. So if they're inputting this information, we can go back and find what these keywords are. Also, if we find something like this armband water bottle, we can now sell it as water bottle for running, hands-free hydration, like all these other keywords, as opposed to actually what the product is, which is wet sleeve, right? So the reason all this matters is we're not looking for products, we're looking for keywords, and those keywords need to be in demand with little to no competition, all right? And the way that I do that is I get keyword ideas from a lot of different places. Then I go to Amazon and I use helium-10 now, magnet specifically, or cerebro, and I look for keywords that are very relevant to that product. And then I figure out how many people are selling that product as well, or if there are other products similar to that. And I find a difference. I find an anomaly. I find something that people are looking for and they're just not being offered.
Yeah,
right?
We have a first question. Just let's keep it relevant to what you are saying. But how can you assess your success after launching with this product that you have chosen?
If I'm making money.
Yeah, it's
right?
a bit advanced question for which you can answer after you're making money, basically.
But I think that one of the questions, or one of the points of that question, is a lot of people ask me, like, well, Tim, if I'm looking off of Amazon, then I'm not going to be selling something with 100,000 search volume. No, you're not. I hate products with 100,000 search volume. It's super, super competitive. So the products that I sell are generally a little bit lower volume. Instead of selling 300 units a day of something, I might only sell 30 or 20 or 40.
But you're going to have 50, 100 products like this.
Yeah, but I can have more products, and each one of those products is higher profit margin because it's not a race to the bottom of price. I'm not getting black hat hijackers. I'm not getting massive competition. I'm not losing rank when I run out of stock, right? So if I have 10 listings selling 50 products a day, I'm making a lot more money than selling one product selling 500 units a day. Mm-hmm. It's less headaches, it's more profitable, and it's safer, because what if Amazon takes down my one listing of 500 products a day? I'm done.
Is this one of your strategies, not to get into battles in this top of first page where all the bloodshed is coming up?
So I compare it to airplanes. Have you heard my airplane analogy?
Not yet.
So do you ever fly a lot?
Not recently. But
not recently. But
yes.
Everybody loves going to an airport, seeing the huge jumbo jets, right? I once flew from Shanghai to Singapore on a Singapore Airlines Airbus A380. It's the true double-decker, like the most amazing plane I've ever been on, right? Amazing. Man, when I see those in the big airports, I drool. I love watching those things. They're impressive, but they also cost a ridiculous amount of money. It takes a tremendous amount of staff and operations and maintenance and a tremendous amount of fuel and a tremendous amount of infrastructure to get it running, right? And it's great, but it's not easy. And everybody else sees that plane. But you don't see the little Cessnas, the little single engine planes that are all over the sky. Nobody cares about those. They don't grab attention, but they're inexpensive to fly. The maintenance is very little. It doesn't cost a lot to buy those things. And I can launch a fleet of 100 Cessna planes for the same price as one giant jumbo jet. And I can still carry the same amount of people among my fleet of small planes. It costs me less, and nobody's watching what I'm doing. I fly under the radar, pun intended.
I really like this analogy.
Yeah. So for my products, I don't want to sell a product that everybody's going to see that's amazing, because it's expensive and it's volatile and it takes a tremendous amount of effort to keep that thing up there. I'd like to launch a bunch of small planes that sell 20, 30, 40 units a day, and nobody even notices what's going on. And if one plane goes down, it's bad for the pilot, but my business is still going, right? So
the person that asked the question, now just make it a little bit more clear. He meant before you actually launch a product, how can you predict the performance if you are not using Amazon?
I'll touch that in a second. All right. So remind me to come back to that. Mm-hmm. So yes. What I'm saying is a little bit odd because we don't have social proof. We don't have validity. So I'm trying to find products that aren't there. And it is nice to go to Amazon and say, oh, this person is selling 50 units a day or 100 units a day. That's a good guarantee, right? We think. I disagree, though, because if they're selling that, it doesn't mean that I can, right? Mm-hmm. I also have an analogy of a cliff. All right. If you're at a cliff beside the ocean and it's a long cliff, it's a mile long, and over on this side, there's people jumping off into the water and they're swimming and they're happy, right? And they crawl back out and they keep jumping off that same spot. Would you go to the other side and jump off?
Mm-mm.
No, because you don't know what's in that water. There must be a reason everybody's over here, right? Maybe there's sharks over here. Maybe there's rocks just below the surface. Maybe the water's too cold. So it's easy for us to follow the lead.
Depends if you have balls, and then you want to be creative and go, against the stream. But
but it's still scary, right? It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
So going back to this question, I like to test it. There are ways to test this water. We can make sure it's deep and it's warm and there's not sharks in it. Then we can be the first ones jumping off the cliff. But that's why everybody has these Me Too products, the follow the leader products, is because everybody wants to jump off the cliff that looks safe. When in my opinion, it's not safe because everybody else is already selling a product. So when we're looking at products off of Amazon, think about what would sell on Amazon. Again, there has to be demand. So keyword demand. There has to be low competition, right? And we have to be able to find products that are going to fly under the radar. So 30, 40 units a day. So my sweet spot is I love to find a product that combined keywords. Remember, we're not selling one product, we're selling multiple keywords, but combined relevant keywords is in the 5,000 to 10,000 searches a month range. That's what I like. So if I'm selling, this is one of my first products. It was a failure because it became saturated. This is a Jungle Scout product, Moscow Mule Bug. But if this product, as an example, is called a Moscow Mule Bug, mug for Moscow mules, copper mug, like multiple keywords, I want all of those multiple keywords that are very relevant. I wouldn't call this drinkware. I wouldn't call it barware. It's not relevant, right? But very specific keywords. I want to be able to find 5 or 6 keywords that amount to between 5,000 and 10,000 searches a month combined. So Moscow Mule Mug might have 2,000. Copper Mug might have 2,000. Mug for Moscow Mules might have 1,000. Now what that does is it gives me multiple keywords to base my sales volume on, so that if I lose position on one page, I've still got position on the other pages, right? So I'm spreading out my risk. But also that, when I'm getting into like the 10,000 search range combined, the PPC is cheap. Nobody knows what I'm doing, right? Now I will eventually start selling more and more because I will start organically ranking for barware and whiskey glasses and those higher search volume. But I'm focusing right now on those smaller ones, right?
This strategy becomes a little bit more difficult when you have already a brand in a specific niche, and then you want to launch another product from the same category, from the same niche, because then you're there's boundaries for your how can you go explore.
Yeah.
Because in the end, everybody this is the trend now, right? I want to sell my business in 1 year, 2 years, and when you sell it, you look on the brand, right? You want to have a brand with 10 products related to your brand. So this kind of an antithesis to what you are saying.
Well, I do think that branding is important, but remember, when we're selling on Amazon, it's different. So let me show you. As you're talking, I'm pulling these images up. So check this image out. So my opinion is on Amazon, we're just selling multiple products. Let's find products that work. Maybe the first product I find is a kitchen accessory, then a home decor item, then a toy, then an outdoor item. As long as I'm selling products, I'm happy. Now, what a lot of people like to do is they like to find their first product and create a brand around that. But what if they never find other products that work? One of my first successful products was an accessory for women's shoes. I'm not going to create a brand around that because one, it's a very simple product. I don't believe in spending a lot of time investing in creating social media and an off Amazon website for one cheap product. I think that I can take that energy and find more products. So that's why I start finding more. Now, if I had found, let me back up a second. So because I had that one product of women's shoes, it wasn't worth me building a brand. Is it still worth me selling the product? Yes. It still makes money today. So what I believe is you will start to notice these individual products that things will start to stack up. So maybe my first product is a women's shoe accessory. Maybe my second product is a kitchen accessory. I'll find another kitchen accessory, another kitchen accessory. Then I'll find more random products. And then this is a toy, and then another toy, and another toy. When I get to the point where I realize, hey, I've got 5 or 6 products that's related to this, I call that like the natural inflection point, the point where I realize, hey, something has changed. I now have a bundling. And then I will create a brand around that because there's a catalog. Like, I don't like building a brand unless there's multiple products, to be honest. Unless it's
Well,
very
you just
specific.
reverse engineered it, right? So it's a misconception that you took it and you just turn it over.
Yeah, correct. Like, I let the brands kind of form themselves first, right? Because there's so much work and effort to actually build a brand. It's not necessarily worth it. I can find more just random products on Amazon for that same amount of energy and effort. Now, if we look at, let's go to the keywords. You're talking about big keywords and like big products. So if I look at this pyramid, let's say this is representing a potential product, all right? Representing this Moscow Mule Mug. We have the exact keyword, which is Moscow Mule Mug, but it's also going to be represented by long tail keywords, multiple long tail keywords. So mule or mug for Moscow mules, copper Moscow Mule Mug. They're the longer but still relevant keywords that still represent that product, but they have lower search volume. Okay. So just as an example, let's say, and I know it's more than this, but as an example, what if that one keyword had 10,000 searches, Moscow Mule Mug? But if you combined all these long tail keywords, they would also make up a combined total of 10,000 searches. Okay. What's interesting is this keyword is going to be more prone to attack. People are going to attack you on this keyword. It's harder to stay on page 1. Whereas if you're fighting for these long tail keywords, nobody notices you, you're flying under the radar. So could I sell these and get on page 1 for Moscow Mule Mug? Yes, but it would cost me $500,000. Could I get on page 1 for copper mug for Moscow mules? I think so, because probably nobody's focusing on that. Now, it's much lower search volume, but there's still sales to be had there. The other thing that's interesting is your PPC cost. Your cost for a position on Moscow Mule Mug is going to be very, very expensive, where those short tail keywords is much less, right? So when I look at this whole dichotomy of like what keywords are important, I love the long tail keywords. I love the lower search volume keywords. So when I say, hey, I like a product that among 5 or 6 keyword has 5 to 10,000 search volume, it's because of this, right? It's because we're flying under the radar. Now, would it eventually start ranking for that exact keyword? Sure. For those of you that watched Project X on Helium 10, that case study that I did with them, and if you haven't, go back and watch it. It's great. But you remember the coffin shelves that we did. We were listing those as coffin shelf for bookcase, coffin shaped shelf, right? And we had 10,000 search volume between all those keywords. Well, within like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, we were naturally ranking also for Gothic home decor with 10,000 searches a month, right? So you will move up. I'm not saying, you're always going to stay small, but just focus on what seems small, because you can replicate it over and over and over again, and nobody knows what you're doing. You can fly under the radar, and you find those opportunities that are just coming up to Amazon. Remember, Amazon's slow. So maybe it's barely trending on Amazon now, but it will be trending much higher later, right?
Let me ask you a pro question regarding these long tails. When you launch a long tail, is the organic influence on this ranking is also influences other keywords that have the same words inside this long tail keyword?
Of course. Yeah, indexing pulls all of those together. So you'll start indexing and you'll eventually start ranking for all of the little keywords within the long tail for sure, right? So I'm looking over here at my other screen at my notes. So we want to find products, low competition, but in demand. Demand is based on keywords. We know what people are looking for, right? Find the keywords that we need to focus on. Don't necessarily have to be huge volume keywords. Small volume can actually be better. A fleet of Cessnas instead of one jumbo jet. All right. So what I'd like to do is walk you through the process, right? The process of how my brain works and how I actually look at these things. Okay. So I'll give you an example that I just did a workshop where we use this. And I want to show you that this is still relevant after like 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years ago, I was at the ASD show in Las Vegas, big trade show. And I do walkthroughs there where I take people around. I kind of teach them how my brain works. And we walked past a booth that had plastic flowers. Now, who would know that plastic flowers would be popular on Amazon? Like I'm sure they are, but it's not something I want to sell. It's saturated. But in the bottom corner, in the bottom shelf, was these little 18-inch tiles of fake topiary, fake plants. Okay. Now, I have no interest in that. I don't think it's a cool product, but it doesn't matter. What matters is if other people want this. So I just took a quick picture of it with everything else put on my list. And what I did is I went to Amazon and I typed in, let's see, fake plant tile, right? And of course, all of this stuff comes up. So what I have to do is figure out which keywords are associated with this, right? Also talk about relevancy. What's interesting is I typed in fake plant tile, and just in the top search results, these are not tiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know if anybody's actually looking for this either. That's the problem. So maybe my keyword's bad, but if I wanted to rank on page 1 for fake plant tile, it'd be easy because these things that aren't even tiles are automatically ranking up there. Amazon's having a hard time even showing options. But what I'll do is I'll go to the first organic listing, not this one because it's sponsored, and I'll do a reverse ASIN. And most of you should know what reverse ASIN is, but basically I'm going to look up the keywords that Amazon is attaching to this. So I've got the helium-10 extension here. I'll go to keywords, which jumps to the helium-10 product Cerebro, which is basically going to reverse engineer this listing and tell me all of the keywords that it is attaching to this listing. So fake hedge, fake wall grass, fake wall plants, green wall panel, right? And I can sort these by search volume. And remember, this is not necessarily relevant. Wall decor, kitchen decor, green screen, it's none of those things. But when I start looking down at flower wall decor, plant decor, greenery decor, that one's relevant. Like I start to find these keywords that people are calling this, right? So I can even go in and filter this. So like if I want to get rid of some of the stuff that isn't as relevant, I can go to phrases that contain backdrop, because I think people put these on their wall as a backdrop, right? And I can find, okay, photo backdrop, no, but grass wall backdrop, this is interesting. Okay. Now, let me pause for a second and show you what I just did. I had a random product that I didn't know anything about. It was just some topiary thing. I typed in something that was showing me these things. I went to the reverse ASIN listing, or the reverse ASIN list, and now I've got a bunch of keywords that I still don't know anything about, but it doesn't matter. But if I start looking at these, and like grass wall backdrop, I don't know what this is, right? It's got fairly consistent search volume. In fact, it's going up. Mm-hmm. I'll actually go to that listing page. So grass wall backdrop. Now, here's what's very interesting. For those of you with a small screen, you might not be able to see this. But what's the exact keyword that I put in? Grass wall backdrop. There's 4 sponsored ads and then organic listings. Not a single one of these is grass. These are topiary. They're boxwoods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Now, yes, it's green, but people are specifically typing grass. They're not typing hedge. They're not typing shrub. They're not typing topiary. They're not typing boxwood. They're looking for a grass wall backdrop. And the first listings are not grass. Neither are the editor's lists. Neither are these. Neither are these. Neither are these. So on page 1, for a search term that has 12,000 searches, grass wall backdrop, not a single one of them is actually a grass wall backdrop. So what's that mean? That means that Amazon is ranking products because it doesn't have a better option. They're just showing the best they have. But people, remember I said, people come searching for something specific to Amazon. Grass wall backdrop. There's no grass wall backdrops. This has been an open opportunity for 3 years now. And I've never launched it because I've shared it with so many people. I assume somebody else is going to do this. But my point is, people looking for that. So when we talk about things that are in demand with no competition, there will be competition from the topiary backdrops and the shrubbery backdrops, but there's not for grass. It's not there. So let me continue down my rabbit trail. So I go, okay, there may be something interesting in grass. So what I'll do is I'll actually go in and I'll change on my filter here, only phrases. Remember, this is phrases just attached to this, okay? Or keywords attached to this first seed listing we started with. And now let's look up keywords that have the word grass in it, okay? So we are sticking to, we're sticking to the ones that are like backdrop themes. So it's not artificial grass, it's not fake grass, but grass wall, yes, grass wall backdrop, grass backdrop wall, green grass backdrop, grass wall decor, grass wall panel, artificial grass backdrop, artificial grass wall. Do you guys see what's going on here? 23,000, 12,000, 8,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. Look at how many stinking people are looking for something specifically related to grass. And if I go to the first page result, for example, grass wall, guess what, guys? It's still not grass. It's these boxwoods panels.
So it looks like grass.
Kind of, but it's not. It's something different. When people are looking for grass, they're not looking for this. Like, this is a shrubbery thing, right? So my point is, the software won't detect this because the software only looks at what is relevant or what is indexed. So it thinks that this is a saturated niche because there's so many of these. Look, here we go. Here's finally one that's actually grass, and it's not even a good listing. Now we've got some. Look, grass tiles. On page 2, it's a sponsored ad. These aren't tiles, but so page 2 or 3, we're starting into some grass, but they're not optimizing well. They're not running PPC. Here we go. We finally go a little bit of fake grass, and it's not even a wall panel. That's what you put on the ground. So my point is, there are a lot of products out there that people are looking for. They're just not being shown. But if we go to random places, trade shows, other websites, places like that, we'll find these products. And if we go and look at the search volume, if we look at the keywords, if we look at the indexing, we can find products that are in demand on Amazon and not being offered, right? It happens. It happens nearly every single day. Somebody finds one of these products. So what I'd like to do in the remainder of the time is talk about some of the places that I go to actually find these products, right? Especially online. I'll give you 3 of my favorite that I don't talk about very often, okay? The first one.
You're actually going physically by yourself to these shows, or you have like a team, or?
There's online sources to go to, okay? So different websites. And we think about Amazon, remember I said they're 18 months behind. So if they're that far behind, what we have to do is find places that are quick, that are trendy, that are always on top of the product research. And when I think about that, I think about the best researchers in the world, all right, for products. And they are things like subscription boxes. The people that run subscription boxes have giant R&D departments that are just looking for trending items. Gift guides, bloggers, does not have a new innovative trending item on their blog. Nobody comes to their blog and they don't make any money. And the other one is affiliate marketers. Affiliate marketing has become very saturated, very tough. And if they're not finding the most lucrative, innovative, cutting edge items to sell, they're not going to make money. So let's track those 3 down. Okay. So the first one that I want to go to and look at subscription boxes. There's a great website that consolidates them called CrateJoy. And CrateJoy is this amazing website where you can go and see all these different, it's like a marketplace for subscription boxes.
Can you explain just in a sentence what is a subscription box?
Yeah, so subscription box is like, if I want, here's one of my favorite subscription boxes. In fact, I have sold products to them to put in their boxes, believe it or not. So a subscription box is, I pay this company $40 a month, and every month they send me a box of surprises. That's all it is, right? So I get this box that will have different things in it. So one month it might be, these are past boxes, but it'll have the smoking chips. This is called a cloche and a smoking gun. they'll have maybe this box, which is it's going to have, you know, different men things in it. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it may be a weird keychain. I'm not sure. But my point is I pay them $40 a month to just send me a box of surprises. Here's the one about shoes, right? So it's cool man stuff. Well, my point is for them to sell memberships to their box, right? So $45 a month. And this is what the boxes look like when they show up, and it has all this random stuff in it. So for them to be successful at selling their box, they have to have new cutting edge, innovative items that people want. They have a huge research and development department. So if I go to CrateJoy, every single one of these boxes are doing the same things. And there are thousands of boxes listed on here. So I could just go randomly to any of these. I don't have to know what a product is. I don't have to be interested. Look, this one just popped up, the plant box. Now, I cannot access their website and their boxes from here because this is a marketplace. But if I go to a website, it's called the Plant Club. The Plant Club. So here it is. Here's the website for the subscription box. And what they'll do is they'll even post all of their items on the shop. All right. So they don't have very much stuff in the shop here. But let's see. What's inside the boxes?
Seeds.
Yeah, subscription boxes, plant selection. So this one will actually have plants. It's not a very good example, but they also have accessories. See, like, I don't know what this little box of rocks are, but I can actually go in and now, like, I've just got the idea. Now I can go to helium-10 and I'll go to magnet, which is a keyword, and I'll literally just type that in. I'll type in rocks for potting plants, okay? This is something I never knew existed, didn't know people bought it. And remember, 99% of the items you look up, they're going to be saturated or there's going to be no demand. But if you look hard enough and you just look long enough and keep going this exercise, you'll find stuff people want. So for that keyword, there's no search volume, rocks, potting plants. But it's going to show me other ideas, right? And I'll sort by search volume here, and I'll find other things. So we skip home decor, beanbag, fairy garden. That's weird. And I'm looking just for rock stuff. So now here's rock painting, river rocks. I don't understand what rock painting is. Oh, they're kits to paint rocks. So my point is I can go to something like subscription boxes and spend 30 minutes on CrateJoy poking around and find products that I go, I don't know what this is, and figure out, is there demand with low competition for it? And I promise we do this every day. Some of my best-selling products have come from Bespoke Post and from CrateJoy. All right, it works. You just have to look where nobody else is looking and understand they're doing research. The next one is blogs and specifically gift guides. These people, the way they make money is driving traffic to their website. So check this out. If I go to gift guides and Google, it's going to give me all of these different blogs. So NY Mag, Today, BuzzFeed. Now, BuzzFeed makes money with their ads. That's how they make money. Okay. So if people aren't coming to their website, they're not going to make money. So the 2021 gift guide on BuzzFeed, they have a ridiculous amount of people researching products that I'm going to find interesting. Valentine's Day gift. I don't like those. Let's go to popular products. Leather jackets, ox horns. I could literally just pick anything randomly. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question about, the huge amount of products that you see, because when you go source like this in the different platforms, you can be really overwhelmed of the amount of everything. And you need to be picky on one side, but broaden your research on the other side. Do you have any tips on on that?
Yeah, and once it takes practice. That's my biggest tip, is go through here and just look for stuff that seems interesting. So like, check this out. These are not real goldfish. I don't understand what this is.
Maybe it's for little kids that believe this is a real fish.
Okay, so Goldfish Soap. Oh, I think this is glycerin goldfish in bag soaps. Each soap is individually. Okay, so here's my point. The people on BuzzFeed are exceptionally good at finding trending products. We just randomly guys, I didn't prepare this. This isn't staged. 2 minutes of looking at BuzzFeed, I found a product I didn't know I existed. It's on Etsy. Look at the number of sales from this seller. 1697. That's actually a lot for Etsy. 176 reviews on this. So they've probably sold a few thousand of these. I don't know. I still don't. These are soaps. So what I would do now, the keyword is Goldfish Soap, and look how terrible this listing is. So now I'll go to Magnet and Helium-10, or I could even go to Amazon and type in Goldfish Soap. Okay, so what's interesting
here.
So there are some here on Amazon, but what do you notice about this first area that's interesting?
Well, bundles maybe.
There's no sponsored ads.
No sponsored.
Nobody's running PPC. Okay, so nobody's running PPC on this. I do see a couple items that are similar, but then immediately on page 1, this is not Goldfish. Well, that kind of is, but it's not in a bag. That's like, now I've actually got actual goldfish. Pine tar soap, that's not Goldfish. So my point is, if there is search volume for this, it doesn't look very competitive. So Goldfish Soap, and we'll look at the search volume here on Helium-10. Sometimes you have to type it in twice because it's weird. I don't know why it does that. So again, I'm not saying Goldfish Soap is a good product, but just randomly looking for stuff, all I have to do is find something with search volume and little to no competition. So what this would look like if I were excited about it. So 260, let's see, soap in a bag, 360, fake goldfish, goldfish toys. I'm going to sort this again by the word soap, because remember, it's showing me everything that Amazon indexes together, which isn't always relevant. So now let's just do soap.
Do you have a bottom limit on the volume, on the search volume, where you say it's not good enough?
No, because I'll sort it by search volume. And there's a lot of products that I'll sell where I'll have 15 keywords representing 300, 400, 500. I love it as long as they're super relevant. So my point is, if I found that product, and what if I typed in Goldfish Soap and the search volume was 6,000? I'd get very excited because 6,000 people are searching for it. There's really no good options. The listings are bad. Like, what's going on here? This listing's all over the place, right? Terrible listing. So again, not saying that's a great product. My point is, just looking at gift guides, we've got ideas for stuff we didn't know existed. And we have a reasonable degree of certainty that they are very, very cutting edge, advanced on their research, right? The third place that I mentioned, I'll go through this quickly, is affiliates. Affiliate marketers are very, very competitive, right? Affiliate marketing is tough. If they don't have the latest, greatest, most cutting edge product, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to make any money. So they have to research. And we were talking
usually
earlier,
those products are like kind of just a hit for a couple of months. And then what, you buy a huge amount of stock, and do you do like in in stocks, you get in and get out quickly on specific hits?
it depends. If it starts getting saturated, I'll get out. But there's a lot of products that I've sold 30, 40 units a day for years. And it just stays constant, stays steady. It never goes up, never goes down. My PPC is nearly nothing. I've got a lot of reviews. It just makes me money. So we were talking about Amazon being a search engine. Another one of the top 5 search engines in the world that people don't know about is YouTube. Because think about YouTube. By definition, it has to be a search engine. You type in a keyword, it gives us a result, okay? Yeah. So what's interesting about YouTube, let me show you this, is that it is one of the best platforms for affiliates now. And the way that I found them first is a friend of mine started cooking with, it's called sous vide. All right, it's called a sous vide machine. And he said, man, check out this channel. And I went to this channel, sous vide everything.
This is the vacuum thing with the nylon.
Did you put it in the water? Yeah, you soak it in the hot water. And this is a couple years ago. And I said, I've never heard of sous vide, but man, this channel's blowing up. So I started watching this guy's channel. I went out and I bought some sous vide machines, a sous vide machine. But what's interesting is I was trying to figure out how this guy was making money. And if you look at his show notes, check this out. These are all affiliate links to Amazon. Okay. So the sous vide circulator, here it is. I just came to the affiliate link, right? So my point is, these guys are doing research to figure out what they can sell. And if it's not a good product, it's not going to sell.
They're doing the job for you.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, how am I going to find more Amazon affiliates with trending items on YouTube? You see this amzn.to? Well, YouTube search engine indexes in the show notes. amzn.to.
This is a great tip.
Yeah, you've never seen this before, have you?
No.
So watch this, amzn.to. Now, when I type this, it's going to show me all of the YouTube videos and YouTube channels that are indexing with the Amazon affiliate link, but are the top trending. So watch this. 53 minutes ago, 3.6 thousand views. 3 hours ago, 81,000 views. All right, so what does this mean? It's not just the top searched videos, it's the highest trending videos. It's the newest. Okay, so watch this. Are these products worth it? 3 hours ago, 81,000 views. If I go into, this Baby Yoda, if I go into this.
It's a commercial, I think.
Yeah, check it out. Look at all of these. All of these affiliate links. Now, a lot of these are going to be saturated stuff. All right, so a Samsung camera and a Sony camera. But they will also show me products that I've never heard of before that are trending. And there might be one seller on Amazon, right? And even if that product is saturated, there might be accessories for it. So an example is that sous vide machine that I showed you. It's an electronic, it's very complicated, it's very expensive. But when I saw that the trend of sous vide was trending because I saw it was trending on YouTube, I started selling sous vide accessories, weights, racks, bags, and I sold them for about 2 years before I exited that brand. Did very, very well. But I never would have known this trend was coming up and been able to get first on Amazon if I hadn't been seeing what's going on YouTube. So you have to be very creative, but you can poke around and see what other digital marketers are doing to see what trends are trending and be the first one to find related products to get on Amazon.
Do you use Google Trends or other softwares like Camel?
Sometimes I use Google Trends for the keywords, but there's a plugin into Helium 10 where you can just pop that up and look at the Google Trends for that keyword too. So yes.
Correct. Nice. Okay. So after you get all of these ideas, you do the next step is doing the Helium 10 validation that you mentioned. What's going to be, do you have like steps like thinking on differentiation or, you know, how to brand it or things like that? Or you just
sometimes you don't need differentiation. Sometimes just the product itself will sell. There are other times where you do need differentiation. And I hate to say this because we're running out of time, but if you like some of the stuff I'm saying in my train of thought, go watch Project X with Helium 10. It's free on YouTube. And you'll see where we found one of these kind of random products, which is Coffin Shelf. There's another product we sold, which is an egg tray, where we did a differentiation, just a wooden egg tray, and you'll see how we did that. So yes, ideally, there's like 3 types of private label products in my book. There's what I call a Yeti. And a Yeti is like one of those mythical creatures. It's one of those things that people are looking for. It's in demand with no competition. The second time is what I call a better mousetrap. All right, an old expression here in the U.S., trying to build a better mousetrap. That's a different variation. It's instead of a garlic press, we add a silicone handler. Instead of a plastic egg tray, we do a wooden one. So the better mousetrap's a better product. The third one's what I call a bright idea, which is like that wet sleeve that I showed you. It's something that it's a great idea. It's going to be super hard to launch because people don't know it's there. So in order of importance, I'm always looking for a Yeti product. In my Yeti searches, I might find a better mousetrap, and then maybe I'll find a bright idea. But the Yeti's the easiest launch, better mousetrap second, and the bright idea is the hardest. So the 3 kind of differences of the 3 different types of private label.
So if I understand it correctly, you are against launching or making up new products, or building products from zero, or you just think, or just say
For
it
Amazon,
depends on
yes.
your.
For Amazon, I don't like new products unless people are looking for it. Now, there are other places to sell that through Shopify sites with digital marketing and influencer marketing, a Kickstarter and Indiegogo, things like that. I'm actually doing a big Indiegogo launch this year that's going to be a free case study. If you guys will sign up for my Facebook group, Private Label Legion, it's I shouldn't say it's mine and Norm Ferrar's combined. It's great. Go check it out, and you'll see as we release the episodes of this Indiegogo case study that we're doing and showing you how we
This is
launched this product.
also a marketplace, kind of a marketplace for new
Yep.
ideas, but
Yep.
I guess it's ideas that you need to work on, so it's a bit
Yep.
tricky. A question about the affiliate market sellers that you have shown us on YouTube. Someone asks, how do you know it's an affiliate, actual affiliates? Because of the AMZ and .to,
Yeah,
right? Links.
because of the link. So that link will show me that amz.to, and then if you look at, let me show you. If you look at an actual Amazon link itself, when I go to it, so this is still it. It will be this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ref, this is a referral. So
Yeah.
so this is the URL with the ASIN referral.
The regular one, yes.
Yeah, referral. So it's referred by sous
Mm-hmm.
vide everything.
Yeah, this is how you validate
Link
this
code.
is an affiliate link. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can tell this is an affiliate link.
I see. Okay, there. Another question. So you're using Cerebro for making sure that the dissonance between what you search for to what you get comes from the fact that Amazon doesn't suggest the right product, and not
Correct.
because you choose the incorrect keywords for describing what you search for.
No, it's more that Amazon can't show me what I'm looking for. So that's why I don't like the things that say, well, this is not a good product opportunity because this keyword has 50,000 competitors. You don't know if it's actually 50,000 competitors. Look at the grass wall backdrop. Amazon said it had thousands of competitors, but none of them were grass. You physically have to look at it yourself. You can't let a piece of software try to automate that because it's not smart enough. It can't figure out pure relevancy.
Yeah. By the way, you have a great compliments here. That was amazing. Thanks. Before you go on, I just want to say thank you, guys. This was gold. So this is a small feedback for you. So people are loving your tips. What what do you think about the canton fairs and all the physical gray?
Love them.
Those you love them, but
Love them.
I think something is changing, right, with the COVID and everything, because I guess this year nobody can get in so easily, and maybe the fairs are not. I was supposed to be at the White Label Expo in London, and then they, rescheduled it. So everything goes online. Only also the sourcing. This is a trend that you see, or you think it will come back to be also
Yeah,
physical?
it'll come back. The biggest trade shows we've got in the U.S., ASD, they're doing road shows this year. Atlanta, Dallas, and Phoenix. And they're doing a big one in Vegas. So it's coming back. This is all going to end. And I love those physical trade shows because I can get great product ideas that might not be online at all.
And you do it mainly in the US, or you go abroad as well?
Well, I also go to Canton Fair. I go to EWU, and I usually go to Global Sources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Hong Kong.
Yep.
There's I see. Okay, nice. What do you think about like the future of product sourcing? Do you see any trends? Do you see any
Mexico?
Upcoming Mexico? Really? Why?
Mexico, because Mexico has inexpensive labor, but they have very high education, and because it's close proximity to the U.S. I think that especially now that we saw the way the logistics slowed down coming out of Asia, that people are starting to look heavily in Mexico and Latin America and South America.
Oh, this is also a great tip. Yeah, some huge changes in the logistic chains. What about Canada?
Yep.
So just from the north?
No, it's too cold up there to manufacture anything.
Yeah, more expensive, I guess.
It is expensive, yeah.
I see. Nice. So if people want to, learn a little bit more about your tactics, where can they find more of your content?
So look up my Facebook group, like I said, the Private Label Legion. Join that group. We post everything in there. We have a YouTube channel that Norm and I, it's been going for a while. We're trying to put new content on. And then we also have a mastermind group. It's a paid mastermind group. We do like 4 hours of training a week on Zoom. It's a small group called the Centurion League. And you can find that on our Facebook group or anything like that. So but I would go to the free Facebook group and check that out first. There's a ton of content. That's where we drop all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm. As a business owner, you get all the data from your team that are doing the sourcing, and then you validate their choices, or you like to
I do all the
intervene in this
research
process?
myself.
You like to do the dirty job.
I'm better at it because I've got more practice. I let them do the sourcing. I let them do the pricing. I let them do the logistics, the operations, the customer service, but the actual product research I do.
Okay, nice. And I think 2 last questions. What about platforms like Wish, Pinterest? All of those, are they saturated as well?
No. Wish I stay away from. Pinterest I love. Again, I know I hate to keep referencing it, but Project X, free on YouTube. We talk a lot about Pinterest, where we go to get product ideas.
Don't you think that Pinterest is a little bit more, I don't want to sound like a chauvinist, but it's oriented to DIY, to a bit more.
It used to be,
female,
but it's not anymore.
No,
it used to be. That's changed in the past couple of years. And you're right. It used to be very, very female, very feminine. A lot of home decor, crafts. But now it's not. It's car mechanics are using Pinterest. Hunters and fishermen are using Pinterest. Skateboarders using Pinterest. Everybody's using it now.
Mm-hmm. I have another last question, but I'm not sure that I understand completely. The listing test, we do it also on products that are selling already on Amazon. Did you mention the listing test?
I'm not sure I understand the question either.
Yeah, me too. Okay, hopefully that I will tag you in the post. So if there will be anything else, on your free time, it will be great to have your answer. So first of all, thank you very much. I guess this was like 5% from what you know about product sourcing. And I need to host.
Sorry, I'm plugging in my computer because my computer's about to
no, it's okay, no problem. So just summarizing everything for those who are watching and for those who are going to watch this. Okay, this is think out of the box thinking, and the places. And if there is one takeoff that I need to take from this webinar, this live, is that don't go where everybody goes, and don't aim to those sexy keywords and huge volumes, and just do the dirty job if you really want to make money on Amazon, because for those are digging, and in the end they find the diamonds and the gold. So thank you very much, team, for this really great content, and hopefully to host you again soon.
Yeah, sounds great. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.